Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Fox Hime. So, a few things in this story I'm starting to understand a bit. I do have a lot of questions, but hopefully they, kind of give us what the idea is behind this overall story, and hopefully it's not too bad. So, after Leah finished her breakfast, we went to the classroom. We spent too much time on the... We spent too much time with breakfast, which made it nearly impossible to sit in the front row. Or no, impossible to sit in the front row. Well, girls really eat slowly. The seats were almost entirely occupied. I glanced at the classroom through an opening. Only 2 seats in the last row were available, and the professor was already there. Leah passed by me, and I grabbed her hand subconsciously. The professor's already there. Let's walk in from the back door. Leah stood still and looked down at my hand. What's wrong? Oh, was she shocked by that? What's wrong? Your hand. Okay. Leah suddenly whispered with a blushed face. Yeah, it's blushed, alright. It was actually kind of cool seeing the red kind of come in there. It was interesting. I immediately blushed and let go of her hand. Sorry. Hurry up, it's time for class. Went to the last row in the classroom, and a girl who sat there glanced at us, then shifted to another seat next to her. So 2 spare seats were adjacent to each other. Leah looked for a moment, walked across quietly, then sat near the girl. I could only follow her silently. I am serious in attending this mathematics class. Both Leah and I were listening to the professor attentively. Although the professor was very old, he still did have some humor. Leah suddenly talked to me at the end of the class. I heard you're working a lot in that old bookstore, and I also live there. Is that true? Yeah, what's wrong with that? Nothing, I was just thinking that an old bookstore may have many interesting books to it. Oh, speaking of it, I took out the treatise of Hime from my bag. I have more or less finished reading this book. More parts of it are interesting, some parts of it are interesting, which was unexpected. Tell me where are the interesting parts? I guess we have reading in common. Interesting. After hearing that, Leah's eyes glowed with pleasure. I should say interest, not pleasure. Someone might take that wrongly with the whole pleasure bit, but it's okay. Again, out of context. In some parts, I knew every word, but when they were combined together, I became totally confused. Huh? Leah burst out laughing. I see, that's really interesting. Don't tell me you understand all of it. Of course, it's my weapon. How can I wield it to attack my enemies if I don't understand it? Look at that smug face on her right now. Your tone sounds as if you were lying, classmate Leah. I honestly would just say, your tone sounds as if you're lying, Leah. Actually, there are many interesting books in the old bookstore. Sometimes when I was transcribing, I would be surprised to see such a book in this world. Which kind of book is it? Why don't you just come and take a look? Since it's a weekend tomorrow, if you have time, I can text you the address. It's not far from school. Don't you have any plans for this weekend? Nothing special. Mori and I have to stay in the store and transcribe some old books. Okay, I will contact you when I get to the bookstore. We parted ways after leaving the classroom. Leah went back to the dormitory, and I returned to the bookstore, prepared to do some work. I'd say ready to do some work, but it's alright. It's actually kind of interesting. They have a common interest in reading and books, at least interesting subjects, I guess. I do actually kind of wonder what the subjects of these books that I guess I say we because I'm guessing we're playing through Yan, but who we technically are, I guess, but I wonder what kind of books we're transcribing exactly. I know they said kind of the general idea, but I wonder what the book is we're transcribing. Like right now or some of the time. It'd be kind of cool to kind of connect that a bit more. Actually, I do care. Chicken, 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 chicken. Actually, Mori and I lived in the dormitory when we first entered college. But one day, not long afterwards, Mori told me that maybe we could live together outside school. Then I want to live with you. That was at dusk. I had just finished my art appreciation course, so when I left the classroom, Mori came to me. run on there, but it's okay. And I left the classroom. I mean, I know what it's trying to say, I'm just trying to correct it, but I think I know. It's alright, I'm not gonna do that. But the school dormitory will not allow this. Then we could live outside. You don't have that much budget. We could find a job which provides accommodation that will solve the problem. Even if we find such a job, people outside will not let us live together. But there may be some exceptions. Not everyone agrees with common sense. Guess fair enough. And we happen to be examples of that. I mean, you are a fox spirit. So, common sense with that doesn't work out well. And such was the case when we found that old bookstore and said Mori and I wanted to live together. The manager immediately said yes. It's good for you to live here. It's better than crowding with others in a narrow dormitory after all. In the evening, we usually just transcribed books quietly and went to our own beds when it was time to sleep. Sometimes we would talk for a while before going to sleep, but those were unimportant conversations. Mori was trying to keep her distance from me, though. Every time when I tried to come close to Mori, she pushed me away decisively. Probably because she knows she's gonna one day disappear. Which is kind of sad, but again, I think there's what was mentioned earlier, there was a whole reason why she's here. Tomorrow Leah may come to visit us. I stare at the upper planks while saying it. Okay. When the time comes, we should invite her to our room. There's no chair for guests in the bookstore, after all. Yeah, well, very simple, short-ended, answers. Yes. After a while... Are you worried about Leah seeing that we live together now? No. Maybe I'm just gonna tell her about this issue. Why? You've never invited others to your home before. That's because I have no friends that could be invited over that I could invite over before. I close my eyes and think for a while. But actually, I myself have also not figured it out. Then we just fall asleep as drowsiness sets in while we were talking. Sunday morning. It's pretty accurate. You fall asleep, suddenly in the morning arrives. It was nearly noon when I got up. It was the weekend, so I didn't set an alarm. I also didn't know the exact time when Leah would come here. I thought that if Leah was here, the phone ringing would wake me up. But I immediately remembered one thing. The snack we bought recently probably had been eaten up by Mori. If so, there was nothing to give as a treat to Leah. It was terrible. Mori, it's time to get up. I stood in front of the bed and knocked at the edge of the upper berth. Leah's here? From behind the curtain came the lazy voice of Mori. Not yet. I haven't received a phone call. Is there any remaining snacks that we bought from 2 days before? I have to try asking her without giving up yet. You can look at my drawer to see whether there is any remaining or not. Mori stretched out her hand and pointed to the drawer of her work desk. I approached the desk and opened her drawer. It turned out to have nothing but a pack of tea leaves. We won't be able to treat the guests this way. I left my bedroom and went to the sink to clean myself up. Mori had gotten up and changed her clothes when I came back. Leah isn't here yet? Nope. Maybe she has already been reading books in the bookstore. That is also a possibility. We did say that we do live here. And she may not necessarily be that interested yet, to contact us. How? I planned to go downstairs to see whether I could buy some snacks nearby or not. Just after walking downstairs, I saw a girl standing between the bookshelves. And, she was reading a book with ecstasy. Was it really Leah? The girl's beautiful and earnest face looked gentle and solemn. I approached her gently. I thought that we had a deal. You will call me when you are here. I knew it. Oh! That's a different dress, interestingly enough, though. Nyan-san. I told the elderly sister at the reception that I was going to visit Mori, but she told me that Mori might still be asleep. I thought it'd be better not to disturb you. So you have been reading books here to kill time? Yes, but the books here are really interesting, just like you said. Leah placed the book back into the bookshelves. I wonder what she was reading. Guess we'll never know, but eh. There was a moment that I thought it would be better for me to buy the whole bookstore. Really? Come on, are you a rich girl from somewhere? You never know. But let's forget it. You see, I brought a cake. Well, so much for the snacks, huh? Leah went back to the counter and brought over a fancy box from the elderly school sister. The sister glanced at me and smiled. Then please lead us to the dorm of the non-linear related student. What? Looking at the sister's smile, I had to nod my head without resisting. I was worried that there was no snacks to treat you. When I just got up, I was just on my way to go buy some snacks. I also expect that Yan-chan isn't thoughtful enough to prepare snacks to treat girls, so I brought a cake. What's with that expression? She's just like, I knew you wouldn't do it. I knew it. She smiled mischievously. Oh yeah, she did. But you really did help a lot. Please come in. Open the door of the bedroom. Inside, Morty had already set the table up. That is actually kind of adorable. Leah's here. It smells delicious. That's an interesting cake. Yes, wow, fluffy ears. Is this cosplay? Oh, she forgot to hide them. She forgot to hide them. Leah said this with a little surprise and touched Mori's ears. It's warm when I touch it now, just like a real one. Then Leah found Mori's tail. Oh my god, what kind of things do you force Mori to do? Never thought you'd have such a strange habit. No, I didn't do anything. I didn't know how to explain it. Mori would actually expose the secret of fox spirits to Leah suddenly in front of her. Yeah, Yan-chan always teases me. Oh god, we're going through this again. This is gonna be funny. How does he tease my lovely Mori? Tell me, I will teach him a lesson. Just then, when you haven't been here yet, he examined my drawer and stole my snacks. I get it, Yan-chan is terrible. We did not, we were being prepared. My goodness. The bullying. All snacks have been eaten up by him. Wait a minute, there was no snacks in the drawer at all. Don't quibble. It is a criminal offense for you to peep into a girl's drawer. You also secretly ate the snacks inside. I'll give you a death sentence. Oh god, not a death sentence. Sentenced to death? Your laws are so tough. There are no more snacks to eat for this weekend. Don't panic. I brought over a cake, though. Wow, Mori loves Leah the most. Leah also loves Mori the most. And... hish. Then Leah touches Mori's ears while talking. Mori's perfectly fine with it, I guess. As punishment, we will not let Yan-chan eat this cake. Alright. Mori received the cake from Leah, and I became a snack thief. It was beyond reason. I like to see whether the cake is delicious or not first. After handing over the cake to Mori, Leah glanced at the berth. A feeling of fear hit her when her eyes fall on the curtain of the upper berth. I'm gonna make instant coffee. It will not do what by just eating cake alone. Not the way I would have worded it, but it's okay. Then I left the bedroom, leaving the two girls there by themselves. There was only half a cake left when I came back. Mori really loves to eat sweet stuff, but she doesn't get fat. Are there any secrets? Secret? No, I just eat like this. Your words make me... Coffee's here. I'm jealous, probably. I passed the cups to them. This is the place where Yan-chan would sleep and study? Yes, I usually sit there to transcribe books. I sit there. Mori pointed to I think I flipped the order there. Yeah, I usually sit there to transcribe books. I sit there. I did the order backwards, whoops. Mori pointed to a nearby chair. I also want to sit next to lovely Mori. Damn. Oh. I sense some Yuri going on here. Leah smoothed Mori's tail. The tail is moving and Mori is really lovely. I also want to sit next to Leah, who brought the cake. You guys already are sitting next to each other. I just called that out. Okay, I wasn't actually reading that line, I was literally thinking that, and that line appeared. That's funny. I do that so many times. Really? Looks like I really need to consider the idea of buying this place then throw Yan-chan out. How could things be like this when these two are getting along? Or no, how could things be like this when these two are together? I'm just ignoring certain words that probably wouldn't make too much sense. I invited you here to recommend books for you to read. Come on. Please don't mock me. It doesn't matter with books, but I can really see how weird you are. Hey! How can you cosplay a lovely girl to such a vivid fox? It really makes people envious. The words you just said tell us that you are more dangerous, isn't it? I originally invited her to come here and read books, but things would turn into this. A boy invites a girl to come over only to read books on a weekend? Only a nerd would do it. Ouch, my pride. I cannot talk common sense with Yan-chan. God knows where his common sense is. I feel that both of you are not using common sense with me either. It's very weird that you talk so casually in this situation. I'm worried. Yes? Whether this guy can find a girlfriend or not is making people worried. If he cannot, he may eventually target Mori, then... But don't worry, I will certainly protect you. No, Yan-chan will not target me. Is that so? If an accident were to happen, you must call me. I will ride a rocket to rush over to you. I couldn't say anything while they were making fun of me. They suddenly looked at me when the cake was almost eaten up. Golden Week, a holiday. It's coming soon. Are there any plans? It's a bummer. I guess our character can't eat snacks. Hopefully he's not too hungry. God, this CG is so adorable. Maybe resume work at the bookstore after going home and coming back. After all, transcribing books is also similar to reading books in a way. I don't hate it. How about camping? Good idea. I'd like to. I almost couldn't follow their minds. I never heard of you two claiming to be interested in mountains or forests. I mean, Mori's a fox. She's probably fine with that, in all honesty. I'm still under the firm belief that even though they're spirits, they still have their animalistic natures. I might be wrong, but it probably fits for them. Then just do it. We can decide someday to go together. Neil looked outside. It was nearly evening, and she stood up. Man, time flew, dang. Dang! It's like we just woke up like an hour ago, and it's already night. Unless we sleep 16 hours, that's... they have a shorter daytime than frickin' Sunrider Academy, which only had 10 hours a day. Which, we're at 100 minutes an hour, and you guys get the point. Those of you who played Sunrider Academy, you already know what I'm talking about. Time to go. Fine. Then I will go to sleep for a while. Yeah, go ahead. The Mori climbed up into the upper berth's curtain. Let me show you to the door of the bookstore. Although it can be guessed that you both live in one room together, the fact is that it is really the case. Leah said gently to me when we were walking across the staircase corner landing. Yes? You two live together in one room, and you still say that Mori isn't your girlfriend? Meaning to say that she exists as more than just being your girlfriend? Nothing happened between us. I stared at Leah seriously and felt nervous. Was it due to the desire to protect Mori's image, or to prevent Leah from misunderstanding me? I'm not really sure of this. So many uncertainties in our life. We always get lost when we look at our inside world each time. Oh, I see what I was trying to say. I also believe that there is nothing between you. Maybe it's just like what Mori said, your common sense has been lost. But how can you lose it when it's so important? Maybe it is common to lose common sense while being with a god. I think this sentence is also suitable for you. We kept walking downstairs. That was kind of an insult. Yikes. We kept walking downstairs as we were talking. The other people keep away when they see Mori together with me. I can guess the reason for this. I used to play a joke with Mori. Girls with common sense will not dare to come close to us. Yet here you are, Leah, standing at our side. That is a good point. Then again, we just kind of ran into each other, like... You know? It seems weird. She just suddenly walked into us... Or walked up to me in a class. Happened to be in the same class. And it's as if she just has an interest. I gotta kind of figure out... It's hard for me to figure out what she's trying to get at here. Maybe she just wants to get to know... I don't know. Doesn't it seem like... I know this is a weird thing to think about, and it's something that I've just kind of noticed. Doesn't it seem a little odd? This is a universe, or at least a story universe, where a boy was struggling to find happiness and was crying a lot, and then Mori came to make him, you know, happier. But she tells him that one day she'll disappear. And now Leah is here. Is this kind of like playing to the whole fated destinies thing, or fated destiny? I don't know. It's an interesting thought when I think about these kind of things. Then again, it's my usual theory self trying to piece together a storyline before I actually read it, which... I don't know how to feel about that sometimes. I get it right. But I just think it's interesting how she's taken such an interest in being around us, even though there is this common... There's this thing that they're just talking about where, because the two of them are seen together a lot, they think they're boyfriend-girlfriend. It's interesting. I'm not really sure what else to think about it, really. Then just as Mori said, you will pursue the girl who approaches both of you to be your girlfriend? No, I only mean you are also a person without common sense. Okay. I smiled when my face became red. I smiled when I was... okay, fair enough. Right, maybe common sense isn't that important, and experience also isn't necessarily that reliable. Maybe I should abandon the book, Treatise of Human, and turn to another book. No need to see me off from here. See you on Monday at school. Alright, see you on Monday. Let's go hiking. Her right eye is a little off there. Oh my gosh, this is an interesting classroom. The last lecture was advanced mathematics before the holidays. Classmates tried their best in the exam after the holiday after the holiday were distributed. Yeah, in their exam after the professor distributed the test papers. After all, an attractive summer holiday would arrive after the conclusion of this lecture. Oh, I know what that's like. That's like finals. During the exam, I sat a bit further from Leah. She sat far away from the passage. From my seat, I could only see the side of Leah's face, and she was holding her pen absent-mindedly. Was everything okay for her? The exam, which was 90 minutes in duration, passed quickly. After the professor collected and sorted out the test papers, he turned and scanned us for a moment. From tomorrow onwards is the Golden Week holiday. If you can't find a boyfriend or girlfriend to see me after the holiday. What? If you can't find a boyfriend or girlfriend to see me after the holiday? Or to show me, maybe? I would fail everyone at this test. Is he seriously telling everyone that if you want to pass this test, you have to have a social relationship with another... Okay. Okay. Sure. That's fine. Alrighty. Students went crazy and became noisy. Return the test papers to me now. Sir, it's none of your business. But the teacher ignored everyone and left the classroom immediately after packing up the test papers. Hopefully he's joking. Following the crowd, Lee and I also left the classroom. Finally, tomorrow's a holiday. Yes. I noticed that you were absent-minded during the exam. What were you thinking about? Thinking about the holiday. Why? The teacher will fail me if I could not find a boyfriend. This is a very serious matter. The teacher only told us after the exam. Besides, he must be kidding. It's easy for you if you are willing to find a boyfriend. If I expressed my love to you, would you accept me? You would accept me, am I right? What? What? Leah stepped out of the blue and stared at my eyes, talking to me seriously. How could it be? What happened? You said you wouldn't fall in love with me, let alone express such feelings. If something is impossible, there would be no result that can be obtained. Huh. You are right. Looks like I gave you a fright, huh? Leah walked away with a bright smile. Then we'll go hiking tomorrow. But I could still hear her voice. Marta was already here when I came back to the bookstore's sleeping quarters. You're back? Yes, I'm back. Tomorrow was the first day of our holiday. Yeah, we're gonna go hiking tomorrow. By the way, why would you agree with Leah's impromptu suggestion? Because hiking isn't bad. You want to go to the seaside and see Leah's swimwear? Mori's trying to wingman us here. I mean, look at that face. She's planning it. She's scheming it all already. You know, what's gonna happen is, that's gonna happen, and they're gonna just bully us the heck because we're the only guy there. He smiled slightly. Yeah, you did. Why do you mention swimwear suddenly? I mean, we have view to lots of hills at home. Nothing new for us if we go camping. Okay. Not necessarily. We've been living in the mountains, but Leah will be with us this time. I think it'll be very different. Alright, now, I'm thinking of asking Mori on whether... Hang on. We're talking to Mori. I'm thinking of asking Leah on whether there are any places you would like to... Wait. Maybe, I think what they meant is, I'm thinking of asking Leah, on whether there are any places she would like to go. After all, the holiday period is hard to come by. I think that's what they meant to do. That's a slight oops. Just go hiking. Mori stared at me and smiled. Maybe I didn't know Mori well. Because if that same thing was gonna be to Mori, it'd be in like an aside like this. That's why it threw me off there, because I was speaking to her. But it might also be that I have never understood her. As a guardian spirit, she has always been with me since I was born. And she had grown up from a little girl like normal girls. Sometimes I just wonder, is it necessary for a guardian spirit? It's the test for summer holidays. Just got it from the senior school sister. Mori pointed to the books on the table without saying it. So many? That's not good at all. I looked at the pile of books on the table. Accursed store owner, are you thinking of exploiting us during the holidays? It's our task for both of us. There's no book on Mori's table as I looked there. I let out a long sigh of relief. It makes sense. It kind of scared me. Mori laughed. Anyway, let's hurry up and start working. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully get it all done before break ends. From noon to night, and from evening to bedtime, we kept working in the room. Get some rest. It can't be done in 1 or 2 days. We need to get up early to take the bus tomorrow. I stretched my arms to relax, lifting my hands overhead to relax the shoulders. Okay. Let's clean ourselves up first. Mori and I prepared ourselves to sleep in turn. Upon turning off the lights, moonlight spilled into our bedroom, immediately like water. Lying on my bed, I stared at the bright upper berth boards. I didn't want to fall asleep at all. We can visit your mother after we've finished this camping trip. Excellent. I also miss her. It's been a long time. Not that long. It's only been 4 months. 4 months and not seeing your parents isn't exactly a great thing. You can't help a guy or anyone getting a little homesick, you know? I never left her for such a long time. I heard it from my mother last time. You will leave me when I grow up. Right. But when? You see, I am a university student and taller than my mom. I'm an adult according to law. I don't know either. Mori spoke in a low voice. Then it's up to you. You can decide it by yourself, right? It's not like that. You want me to leave? That's not what I meant. Actually, I was afraid of the day when it would come. Yeah, I could imagine that. Being around somebody for so long just for them to disappear, it's basically like someone, like a childhood friend or passing away, basically. I could see that attachment. I realized that I had asked my mother with tears when I found myself growing taller rapidly at middle school. Mother, am I growing up? Is Mori leaving me? My mom touched my head with a smile. Really, Yansan, you were only growing taller by a head. As a middle school student, you still cry like a kid. Have you seen any adult that would cry like you? Exactly. You're shameless. I'm still here. I became peaceful, calm, and happy when I noticed that Mori was smiling there at one side. Since then, I've never cried in front of my mom. Even then, I keep worrying about when Mori would suddenly leave me. After that time, I always kept asking Mori a question discreetly. I haven't grown up yet, right? And Mori always answered with a smile. Why do you keep asking the same question? Almost the same as when you were a little boy. Any idea to how to stop me from growing up? No, growing up is unstoppable. Even for a guardian spirit, you can't do it? Yes. Although I was still with Mori when I was in high school, I knew that growing up was unstoppable. I still asked her that question sometimes. You won't leave me without a word? Remember to say goodbye to me if you want to leave. Okay. God. I can see why this could be such a huge tension moment for him. That would be very worrisome for just about anybody, really. I could see that, though. I do wonder when that time would come. It'll be a sad moment in this story, though, I'm definitely for sure. And I'm assuming Leah is going to be part of the key to that. It's a responsibility Leah's going to have to pick up. I'm assuming, you know, obviously, because Leah's introduced and no other female characters involved yet. Every time I asked her that question, Mori would give me a positive answer silently. Then I gradually stopped asking such questions. Now I am a university student and Mori is still here. I gradually get the impression that Mori is leaving me. It's just a lie made by my mother to scare me. Like all mothers, they will coin several lies to scare their kids. I don't think so. If so, it would be very good. I always think like this. What? Mori, how can a person be considered a grown-up? I asked sadly after brooding for a long time. Hard to say. Some people just understand things better at an early age, doing the right things at the right age. While some people like you still cry in front of their mothers like a kid at high school student age. Better to forget it quickly. Mori burst out into laughter. Burst into laughter softly. People will grow up somehow, and each at times, boys at 10 years old or so would already have achievements, get married, and have children. Mori said it slowly. But no matter what happens, people will grow up, right? Right. Eventually you will leave me? Mori kept being silent for a while. Yes. Go to sleep. It's late. I pulled up the quilt and covered my head. During the night, I dreamt of a time when I was a child. Mori took my hand and guided me along a dirt road leading to the shrine in the dream. We alternated between walking and stopping along the way. How slow we were in walking. It seemed that we were attracted by the landscape beside us. Actually, we were worried that we couldn't find each other when we arrived at the destination. That's why we kept reminding each other to walk slowly. But we couldn't control our feet from moving forward. Upon near arrival at the end of the road, I became nervous and started to cry on the ground. I cried in my dream. Then I woke up. This game's not great at this visual novel's not great at transitioning. It's just so sudden. Oh, it's funny. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for this episode of Fox Hime. Hope you guys actually enjoyed this story. I'm actually starting to get pretty interested in it as well. I'm actually curious to see where it's going to go in a few episodes. But anyway, guys, until the next episode, I will see you in the next live stream or video that I do. Until then, thanks for watching, and I will catch all you guys again later on. See ya.